Now, if you're anything like me, you're always looking for ways to be more organised in the hobby. And also, if you're anything like me, you've probably got far too many paints. So in this quick video, I'm going to show you how you can be more organised with this simple trick. Hello, I'm Rob, and welcome to Third Factor Minis. Now, I love paints. I love collecting paints almost as much as I love collecting miniatures. If one of my favourite brands like Pro Acryl or Vallejo bring out a new set, 9 times out of 10 I will buy that set, even if it's only to use one of the paints in that range. And it is a bit of a problem because over the years I've amassed quite a collection. I've never really felt the need to organise my paints before. Besides just putting them on racks in certain branded orders or colour orders, or if they're technical paints, that's the only sort of way I would organise them. And recently, my partner, Laura, she got into miniature painting and painted her first model, and she picked up the AK Interactive Basic Starter Set, which I ended up reviewing on a previous video if you want to go check that out. But she asked me a question which made me think about this, is she wasn't sure how the paint's dried. So she's brand new to painting, and she'd be picking paints from her set, or even from like my paints, asking, okay, does this dry like this colour? Or she'd use a paint and she'd be a bit frustrated it hadn't dried how it is represented on the bottle. Because if you're not familiar with that with paints, they always dry differently to what the colour swatch is. So I hatched a plan and I set out looking for ways to organise my paints finally into some form of catalogue. Now, online I've always seen people, they love to print out like miniatures, like skulls or like heads from models, and then I'll stick them on all their paint bottles, and then they'll paint them for that paint. But I don't know what it is about it. I find it a bit too cluttered for me personally, like to look at. I think it's a good idea, but it's just not for me in terms of how I like to organise stuff. And then I come across these on Amazon. Now all these are little clear plastic nail polish swatches, and you get a pack of 100. It's like £6 for a pack of 100. It's not a lot, and you get little packs of stickers to stick them down on one side. And I thought, well, if they're good enough for nail polish, are they good enough for our paints in the miniature painting? So I bought loads, and I ended up spraying them all black, the ones I needed, and they take primer really well. I need to spray some white as well for like contrast paints or speed paints, but for my normal paints I've just sprayed them black. And I started making this, a paint swatch book. And yeah, we're going to go through it. I'm going to show you just how I'm organising this and how you can catalogue your paints. So yeah, let's have a look. So for this paint swatch book, there's two ways I've decided to lay this book out. So from the front of the book, you've got the brands. So for example here, for the first page, I've started with the AK Interactive paints from Laura's set. And like I said, all you do is spray those little plastic swatches, spray them black or spray them white, and a couple coats of your paints, and that's plenty to cover them for full coverage. And then yeah, you use the sticky backlight tape that comes with the swatches, and yeah, they stick down really well, like they don't move, like they are on there. And yeah, you can organise these however you want, like whatever makes sense to you. But in my head, I decided to go with all the brands separate that I have, and then at the back of the book I've gone via colours. So for example here, like it's just the paints from that set, and then next to them the product code and like the colour. So there'll be no confusion if I'm looking for any colours in the future, like if I'm doing any commission painting or competition painting and I've just forgotten a recipe or how a certain colour dries. This book is also for my partner because, like I said, she asked the question that set this in motion anyway, so this will help her keep track of what she's buying for her paints. I've also added her pastels here as well. And yeah, for the back of the book, so all it is at the back of the book, turn sideways because I need more space as I buy the paints, and I'm just doing via colours. So as best as I can, I'm going through all my collections, shaking them up so they are coming out properly, so the pigments are nice and mixed, and just going through. So I've got AK Paints, Pro Acryl, Army Painter, Citadel, for example, for all the blues. Again, this hasn't got to be perfect. It's just a way of cataloguing them. And then, yeah, you just work your way down as you buy other colours, so you've got more space to catalogue. And then here's your purples, for example. The paper wants to stay there. And then, yeah, you just lay them out however you want, whatever works for you. But this was the method that I could think of that helped the most. And this book will last a long time to fill out. I mean, the brands at the front will fill out quicker than these pages, but you know, as you upgrade, if you need more space, you just buy a bigger book or a second book and label it accordingly. But yeah, I hope this helps people. So there you have it. I hope this inspires you to create your own little swatch book as well, with all your paints, and I hopefully shows how easy it is to be organised. I think the longest part of this process is just categorising your paints if you have got a lot of them, which is what's slowing me down. But if you're very new and you've only got a small amount of paints, I do encourage you to make something like this sooner rather than later, so you stay on top of it. And as you can see, get creative with it. Like, I've just stuck some stickers on the front of the book just to, why not, have a bit of fun with it. Use some stickers that I've got so it looks nice on the shelf and just looks different and stands out. Bits are artsy and craftsy, you know. I will put the link to the Amazon page where I got those swatches from down below in the description. This isn't a sponsored video at all, so there's no kickback if you click that link, but just in case you want them and you can't find them, I will put the link below. But yeah, I hope you've liked this little video. It's a bit different to what I normally do at the moment, but it's been a bit of a tumultuous time in our household. We recently lost a family member, so there's a bit of grieving going on, and this is just like a small video that I've just done just to distract myself and give something back to the community. But yeah, if you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It does help out massively. And check out my links to my Instagram. That's the one. To my Instagram, and give me a follow over there. But until next time, take care.